I think we need to make it clear that all the ceasefires that have been announced haven't held true on the ground. Airstrikes have continued during all the ceasefires we've seen, including on-ground fighting. And that has meant that even through all those ceasefires, people have continued to come here to seek safety. Port Sudan is a sleepy port town. It's a historic port, and it's seen thousands of people come in from all around the world, and there's not enough space to accommodate them, but people have been opening up their homes. Hotels have been cutting down their rates. There's been an understanding that this is life or death, that people are coming here trying to find safety. Now, people, again, all over the world, there are Syrians who fled the war in Syria and have told me they've come and found war here again. It's a desperate situation. And this morning, a Turkish military plane leaving Wadi Sidna, the same military base used to evacuate Brits, was shot in the sky. Thankfully, no one was injured, no one was hurt, but that has that military base for evacuations. And it has to be said, there have been many complaints about how unsafe that base was, because there were many checkpoints, there was lots of fighting around. There were complaints to the Foreign Office, complaints to the British Embassy from British citizens in Sudan who felt like they couldn't evacuate safely. And now that plane being shot down proved that point. So what's happened is that everyone will be coming here. They've been advised informally that this is the safest place to be evacuated from. We've seen Saudi evacuations. We've seen 3 Saudi military vessels transport 2,500 people from all over the world. From here, there have been other evacuations. By plane from the base, but there's also a sense that this is the place to be if you want to leave the country. Now, just behind me, there are people who are sleeping just rough. They've escaped war. They've had to leave their homes, and now they're sleeping on the ground. There's a sense of they're transitioning, but they don't know if they'll make it through. And just behind, there's the broadcasting house, and as we came in, they were announcing passport numbers and names, telling people to register for the evacuations that are coming. There's a Saudi evacuation boat arriving tomorrow here, and people are signing up to get on. We've seen desks registering Yemeni citizens being told that they will get on the Saudi evacuation ship. So people are not. They've come and they're urgently trying to find ways out. They're not resting on their laurels. They're not relying on embassies. They're trying to get out through any means possible. And it's just, what you feel here is, there is a sense of relief. This is a very calm, warm, welcoming city. But there's just also the shock that things turned so quickly in a country that they call home. People have been living here for decades, and also Sudanese people here who are trying to find their way out, who also find it extremely difficult to sign up for the Saudi evacuation ship because of the fact that they need to have a foreign passport or residency in Saudi Arabia. It's also important to note that we came in this morning on a commercial ferry from Jeddah that had Sudanese people actually coming back. It's just insane, coming back to their country because they love it so much. Even during times of war, people want to be here because their families are here. We met a man whose mother and daughter were killed trying to flee on the road by a car accident because there was just such a frenzy of people leaving initially to come here. And now that frenzy is going to continue. These are road journeys, by car, anything can happen. And the city Khartoum doesn't seem to be getting any safer for the people that live there. We met a humanitarian worker yesterday who just come in on the evacuation vessel, and he said that as time goes on, we are going to realize just how shocking the humanitarian condition is in Sudan. The fact that there are people still trapped in their homes with no electricity, no water, but also no signal on their phones, unable to communicate not only with people internally to get help, but also their loved ones across the world who have just been waiting. It's been 2 weeks that this war has been ongoing, and mediation efforts seem to not work. The 2 generals, Abdel Fattah Burhan and Hemeti, the head of the RSF, the head of the army, they're refusing to meet at the negotiation table. There's been extensive efforts from IGAD, from the president of Kenya, from the president of South Sudan, offering to mediate, offering to come into the country and liaise. And we spoke to the army chief early on in the conflict, and he said the situation was too unsafe to accommodate them, though he's open to negotiations. As time went on, it was very clear that the army chief was not open to negotiations because the airstrikes again continued during a ceasefire. Hundreds of people have been killed, thousands injured, and more than anything, so many have had to leave their homes to find safety abroad. And the initiatives that are happening, as much as the Saudi evacuations are helping, there are thousands more that need help, thousands more that need safety, and still many people trapped in Khartoum who are trying to find their way out. We will see over the next period this place not just continue to be, but also a camp, a makeshift camp for people who may never get to leave, who don't have the passports that allow them to get on international evacuation flights, who don't have the money to find another way. And so the crisis is continuing, and there's no sign of whether peace will actually hold in Khartoum.